I had a few experiences when I just decided that it's wrong what some people are getting away with, and I wanted to make a difference to that, and I wanted to see what I could do. And joining the police was the way forward. I loved every single minute of it. The thrill of the chase, arresting people, taking them to court, seeing them being made to pay for what they'd done. I loved it all, and it was brilliant. I got up in the morning and I enjoyed going to work. It's fantastic. Just a night shift, usual sort of calls, drunks and domestics. And then about 1:30 in the morning of the Friday the 13th, got a call to Langston Harbour. A guy trying to commit suicide. Usually you get there and you try to talk them out, but one of our colleagues went in to try and get him. He got to the chap that was trying to drown himself, and then the guy decided he was going to drown my colleague, Matt, and started to push him under the water and was holding him under there, and he was clearly in trouble. And I dived in from a rock, exactly the same rock that Matt had dived in from, and unfortunately I hit something in the water as I dived in. It wasn't the bottom, because there's just a different sort of injury, but I hit something in the water, and I couldn't move. I was just literally paralysed. About 30 seconds I was under the water, come to terms with it. I was quite peaceful, thought this is it, the end. And then I came to the top and managed to shout for help. And then slowly I started to get movement back in different parts of me. But everybody else that was there, and there was quite a few other officers there by then, came in and they helped me. They held me in the water, despite me saying, "Oh, I can get up now. My legs are working." No, you stay where you are. And it was only because the people there realised how serious it was that I didn't get up and walk away, which would probably have killed me. They held me there until ambulance came, and they put me on a spinal board, lifted me out, and I was taken to the hospital where, after various levers and pulleys put on my head and stuff, I was transferred to Southampton, where they said that I had the injury I had, which was breaking my neck in 8 places, and dislocating various vertebrae and bursting the discs in my neck. It wasn't probably for about 3 or 4 hours that I started to get the pain, but by then I was in hospital and lots of drugs available to me. And that's from then on I was in pain a lot, and still am. By the time I got home, I realised how lucky I was, and I thought, I can't believe I'm alive. The doctors had told me if I wasn't dead from that injury, I should be paralysed from the neck down. So brilliant. And I think only 1 in 300,000 people survive the injury I had. So it very quickly dawned on me that I was very lucky to be alive. Started to get input from the various agencies that work for the police, the welfare, who then put me in touch with the Police Dependants Trust. And together, they were wonderful and really supported me. And over the years, people have said to me, "Have the police looked after you?" And I will always say yes, because the fantastic input, particularly from the welfare and from the trust. I didn't like to ask for help. It was very hard on the first time when they came and said, "You've got to tell us what you need." And I didn't want to, because I wanted to do it myself. And I thought, well, I'm getting a pension now, and I want to deal with this myself. But the things that I needed were beyond the scope of my pension. And they did. They had to hammer it home that you've got to ask. You've got to ask. And eventually I asked for some help, and the relief when they came back and said they could help was amazing. If I hadn't have taken that first step, that first time, I wouldn't be living where I'm living now. I don't know what I'd be doing. The first thing they helped me with was a bed, so that it reclines and goes backwards and forwards, and means that I can sit up in bed. I don't sleep very well lying down at all because of my neck, and having that bed, which I've had now for 12 years, has just meant that I can get a few hours sleep in the bed, and that was the first thing, and I still think it was the best thing. They've helped me with furniture that I need. I need specially adapted furniture to help me get in and out. They help me. I can't have a bath anymore because I can't lie down in a bath. So they help me adapt the shower and make it a lot more modern. So it actually worked. And so they help things like that. And then they've helped with things like the roof leaked, and it had been leaking for years. And then every time we tried to patch it up, another leak occurred, and it went on for years and years. And they paid for the roof to be completely retiled, and I wouldn't have thought they could have done that. I wouldn't have thought they'd have helped with that, but they just said, yeah, okay, no problem. And they paid for it. Brilliant. And now we've got no leaks. And it's wonderful. When it rains, I don't sit there thinking, where am I going with the pots and pans? It's lovely. I've been there. I know how difficult it is to make that first step and ask that first time for help, and they're not alone, and they can make that step, and they can ask for help, and no one's going to think any less of them for asking.